Hello, this is Dr. Stephen Evans. I'm the editor-in-chief and publisher of Outclick magazine. Today, we're very excited to be talking to Geoff Cook, the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of the Meet Group, which is the parent company of the fun GROWLr app. Geoff, welcome to the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Geoff, how are you? How are you doing during this COVID drama movie, as I've been calling it?
Pretty good. We've been work from home in a work from home protocol since really mid-March, I'd say. And I've been mostly in Princeton. I happen to be in Lake George, New York right now, but really been pretty. Haven't been to too many stores, a lot of deliveries. I live with my wife and mother-in-law and three small children. The school aspect has been a little tough, but I'm hopeful despite all the headlines.
Yeah. So tell us about, first of all, tell us what GROWLr is for someone who might not know. What is the GROWLr app and basic functionality of it?
Sure. So GROWLr is a dating app for gay bears, and it's one of five apps in our portfolio. I'm the CEO of the Meet Group. We also have apps Meet Me, Lavu, Scout, and Tagged. But all of the apps in the portfolio, including GROWLr, provide a grid of users where you could find people near you based on location. You could send them text-based chats. And then increasingly, and what we've been really emphasizing is you can engage in live streaming video, either one-on-one video or one-to-many live video. And both of those options are available across all of those apps, including GROWLr.
Okay. So that's the new functionality that you have. It's been introduced that's different than some of the other ones, is the video chat between users. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So we've actually been pioneering live streaming video and dating since really 2016. We were originally kind of looking at this in Asia. Asia was kind of at the earliest pioneer in an app called Momo and another one called YY. And we basically understood that dating apps have been mostly focused on utility for a long time. Look at the slogan for the Hinge app by the Match Group. They say designed to be deleted. But basically people use dating apps to get off of them, find someone and move on. We have basically been, while not forgetting about the utility aspect, have really been leading into the entertainment aspect of dating. Dating is rife with entertainment. You have The Bachelor. You have any number of dating games on television over the last 50 years. And so in live streaming, we decided rather than just do speed dating or one-on-one, we decided to try to find an entertaining dating game format where we could make everyone the star of their own dating show, essentially. And that's something that we've been really interested in. We're actually up to 185,000 dating games being played on our apps every day, and that number is actually up 95% since the pandemic was declared in March, and so that's pretty substantial.
Interesting. So in addition to the video, there are interactive games people can play to get to meet each other and to be able to interact with each other. I know this has been a very difficult time for people being at home for so long and looking for something to do. This is another platform for people to interact and have some social interactions with each other.
That's right. So, I'd say in the early days of the pandemic, people were really shut down in where they were going. And I think they were taking it seriously. So we survey our users as every week or two. Mm-hmm. And really across our apps, we saw that people were fearful of the virus. They were staying home. Mm-hmm. In recent weeks, that has changed. So where people they report being less fearful personally and more likely to be willing to date someone. Interestingly, among our apps, and we have GROWLr, that's our gay dating brand, but we also have Meet Me, Tags, an African American dating brand. Among these apps, the GROWLr community has actually had the I would say, the highest level of concern about the virus, and has reported the most in terms of being locked down versus the other apps. And I found that I find that interesting on a few levels. But I think I think the risk right now, and obviously it's a societal one, is people are starting to resume normal life. They're going to be going to school soon. Many are going to work. Many more every day are going to work, and they're starting to date again.
Yeah, I know I've utilized some of the other apps to be able to have some kind of interaction with people at night, some live video, to be able to have just some semblance of normalcy. They've been very important for some psychological aspects to be able to talk to people, and there's some others that have come down. So I think this live video is going to be very important for people to kind of keep some sanity in times when things are so difficult. So I'm glad you all are introducing this. Obviously, the question is, have you seen a huge spike in usage during this time of people being on there because they're home so much? Have you seen a spike in usage of people being on there because they have so much time on their hands?
That's a good question. So what we've seen, we have seen a pretty big increase in engagement, meaning I think the average number of time spent in our live streaming platform went up about 1.4 million hours a day, which was up about 39% versus March. So in just 3-4 months, total minutes went up 39%. But that was mostly more people going into live. It's not really an influx of new users as much as it is existing users being in live more, and the ones that are there spending more time in live. And I think where I sense that the dating is going is, you have, in the early days of the pandemic, you basically had these video options take the place of replace human interaction because people didn't want to leave their house. And now you're getting people leaving their house again, but the video options are basically being increasingly used as a filter. It's, well, should I meet everybody that I would have met, by swiping right on them or finding them on whatever dating app they happen to use? Should I meet all of those same people I would have met pre-pandemic, or should I pre-qualify them on video in some way? And a 90-second, 2-minute chat, maybe even longer, on video is extremely powerful, in helping you assess a person, right? Like personality, appearance. You can tell that you're not being catfished because live streaming is so authentic by its nature. But you can also assess, are they coughing? Do they show any physical ailment of any kind? And so, we think that video is going to really have a place to stay in the dating landscape, not as a replacement for human interaction, but as a filter for deciding whom to meet.
Yeah, these apps have revolutionized the way people meet people, interact with people, and keep up with people. You can talk to people from around the world. You can keep up with people on your travels. So I think the video will really enhance the technology of this. It's amazing that the little phone that we have in our hand is more powerful than the machine that put the man on the moon, and all that these devices do. So, like you said, the video, I think, will obviously add a lot of possibilities for that. Do you have any tips for someone who are using the video for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, I think some things just to be aware of is, it's helpful. First impressions on video, just like first impressions in real life, they matter. So, you could, certainly the nature of the medium is you could just go on video at any time, irrespective of, how you're dressed or if you've recently showered. It helps to try to make an effort. It also actually helps to just do basic things right, like have reasonably good lighting. Don't be too far away from the camera so that you can't really see the frame. Make an effort to be a conversationalist. Like, you're in video, ask questions, try to react to questions. if you're in a video broadcast format, you might be getting text comments. Try to respond to those. Our best streamers are the ones who are most engaging. Like they're good conversationalists, and they can be very entertaining. And so but you don't have to be a great talent. Like you really just need to show up and kind of make an effort.
Yeah. I've purposely in the last few weeks made an effort to make video calls with people not just on that one, but on like some of the other social media platforms, rather than just typing to them, but calling people from far away and trying to interact with people and see them on video and say, I'm thinking about you, and try to have that conversation. And this has forced me to stop and think, I need to talk to that person I haven't talked to in 10 years and have a video call. And it really makes a difference to have that video interaction. It's made a huge difference. So I'm glad to see that this is now part of it. I think it'll help validate identity, and it will be a really valuable part of the functionality. I'm glad to see that you all are pioneering this.
We appreciate that. I think there's this space in the market for like a Tinder meets a Netflix, right? So like Netflix is kind of this very passive, lean back entertainment experience. Tinder is this very interactive, and utilitarian sort of experience. And there's this aspect of dating that's is just fun, right? Like there's this aspect of you like to watch other people go on dates. It's the whole dating show genre. And people, I think they learn something that they might apply to their own dating life. And that's what we're really trying to pioneer, bringing live streaming into that and doing it in such a way that it actually still ends in a date, right? Like dating we're not doing this just for entertainment. It's for social, there's a social entertainment aspect, but it ultimately has to end in a date.
It's sometimes easier to hide behind a chat text message, and the video, it forces us to be more authentic and hopefully, like you said, end in a real date, end in something meaningful. So this will be really a really useful tool for people. So yeah.
I think in dating, there's been a pretty long-standing evolution of dating apps to increasing authenticity. So you see this in the form of verified badges. You see it in the form of going beyond a profile photo and having prompts and personality inducing or exhibiting text comments. And video is just the next level of that. So it's just, you've constantly had this evolution towards more authenticity. And with video, it's hard to be anything but authentic, because kind of what you see is what you get, for better or worse. You get a sense of a person's personality. You can get a sense of their sense of humor. Are they funny? Their voice. Profile photos, as we all know, can be incredibly staged, and a person it can be their profile photo, but based on the angle and the light, and they could almost be unrecognizable. And that's even for a profile photo that was taken recently, right? And so then many people use either old or fake photos, and so video is kind of just a much more reliable way of getting a sense of who it is. And we think now with COVID, it's ever more important that if you're going to be meeting up with someone in real life, you should at least know who you're meeting, and you really don't unless you've had a video chat with them first. Yeah, and you can get a sense for really what they're thinking, but we need to get back to the communication styles of talking and meeting in person and having face-to-face interaction. So this will be a really great addition, or has been a great addition. When did it actually roll out, Geoff? On GROWLr, it rolled out, I think, end of April. End of April? And on the other apps, it was there prior to that. So GROWLr we acquired relatively recently. Okay. And we actually, in the face of COVID, we expedited our plans to bring video to that platform. And after we did, the traffic stabilized. So GROWLr was actually experiencing a decline immediately following COVID pandemic declaration by the WHO. But as soon as video rolled out, it bounced right back up. It was amazing.
Very good, very good. And then GROWLr is on both the iTunes Apple Store and also on Google Play, and it's a cross-platform chat app. I've experienced trying to work with chat apps and trying to write them and get them to talk to different things is quite the challenge. It's not an easy task, task. So, yeah. Well, this is great. Is there anything we didn't cover that I didn't ask that you'd like to cover?
No, I mean, I think we covered a lot. I think in the future of video, as we think about the future of video and dating, where we are most focused is on a couple different areas. One is in making everyone the star of their own dating game, and one of the things we're going to be experimenting with is stakes. Every dating game has stakes, meaning there's a winner and a loser, and the winner gets to go on a date, right? So, like, how do you bring that into a live streaming context? We're thinking a lot about that right now, and no one really does one-on-one live streaming well. Like, there's not a single dating app in the world. Everyone is capable of creating a one-on-one calling experience, but how do you do one-on-one discovery experience? And that's something I think there's going to be a lot of innovation in over the next couple of years, and something that we're focused on too.
Okay. Does the chat function allow more than one person to video chat, or is it purely one-on-one, or is it something to come?
Right now we have one-on-one, and we have one-to-many or two-to-many. So the one-to-many can have a guest who appears in the box, all the viewers.
Okay.
We are working actively on multi-guest, which would be 5 or even more guests at a time, streaming at one time.
Okay. Very good. Well, we will look for that. We look forward to some of the data that comes from how this functionality works and how it increases our communication skills. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for having me. And my question I always ask people at the end: what words of encouragement do you might have for people during this difficult time?
I think it's probably never more important than to continue to stay safe as possible. Like we understand that there's people experiencing economic turmoil. Many of our users lost income. It takes a toll on mental health. The isolation, absolutely, we've seen that clearly. But the virus is also dangerous and real. And so some advice that we give as relates to virus safety are always be paying attention to certainly local government warnings and protocols. But 2, really do pre-screen potential dates. You don't have to do it on our video platforms, but whatever video platform you use, it's an important step. You could ask about COVID risk factors openly. Like, do you live in a multi-generational household? What's your take on masks and distancing? People have different takes on this. You might want to know who you're meeting before you do. And then it's a fair question to ask, and I think it's a question you should ask everybody. Like, have you been sick? Have you been in touch with anyone who's sick? They might answer that question differently if you ask it straight up than if you don't ask it when they can just ignore it. And then if you're going to meet, it is best to do that outside. It's always best to do it in public. And if you're going to, if you do have to go inside, wear a mask. That's very important.
Well, I think our community was taught to ask, what is your HIV status? Are you PrEP undetectable when you were last tested? We need to add this to our library of questions. Whether it's just for a regular date, we need to add this to our library of questions as we become part of our social protocol. So
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, again, it's available on the iTunes App Store and on Google Play. We have it up for you. I've used it. It's a very stable platform. So thank you for speaking with us. We're excited for the new rollout and for new options to come.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.